I just finished up my very first darkroom session, printing session since, oh, it's probably October, November 2016. And back then, I only had a darkroom set up for 2 months. That was my very first darkroom. So what I decided to do today is not work on the quality of the print, but try to work out a workflow here in my temporary setup by taking the negatives on this LED light pad and examining them through a loop and making a determination of what ones I wanted to try to print, writing that down here, having the enlarger set up. I have not spent any time in calibrating it or adjusting the negative carrier base to the base of the enlarger to make sure that they're parallel. Man, I'm just really throwing this together. Again, it was more of an exercise of learning, probably that negative is going to fall out, learning how to move the head up, loading negatives into the negative carrier. There they are. Just dropped out of there, working with the easel, working with the developing trays and making sure I had the prints moving through in the right sequence, working with tongs, timing everything, making sure temperatures are okay, working with contrast filters, making sure the lights are off when I was pulling paper out of the box using a timer. So there are a lot of little details and muscle memory techniques that need to be taken into consideration before you can get a really decent print. My last print, though, is of the Margaret Todd at Dock at Dark, and I did try to do some split grade contrast printing by establishing the highlights and then the shadows, and then printing that way in a two executed exposure using the two different contrast filters. So anyway, there's that print. That was a crazy, crazy sky that night. I know there is a meteorological term for it, but it was crazy. Everybody was walking around looking up into the sky and wondering if the apocalypse was coming. But this is also another one of my favorites. So anyway, this is a start. I hopefully will be able to start to move downstairs, taking what I learned today, and start to build a nice new darkroom for myself. All right, Happy New Year. It's January 1st, 2024.